So, hello everybody, here we are with a special in the house. I was going to show you something, and I am going to show you something, although it's not quite, well, this is a cat that's, par for the course, but I bought something because I wanted a play mat to play the Middle-earth Middle-earth CCG on, instead of using the cards for movement, I wanted to use the region movement map. So I got this map off of the internet, Board Game Geek more specifically, and I found somebody to print it for me. Now this is what they printed. And I have to, I don't know even if you can, you will probably not even be able to see it all. It is too big to fit any of my desks. I'll have to play this on the floor. It's essentially a carpet. It's the same kind of material, and even if I zoom out, you will probably not be able to see it all. It's the same material as your normal play mats that you can get for other LCGs, for example. And you've seen some that I have, but they are much, much smaller. I mean, this one is huge. It's when I put my foot here and I take a big step, this is about 1 meter. So it's big. It will probably fit on one of my desks. I can probably, but even like playing, it'll be really difficult to reach Angmar. So I might actually turn this into a full physical exercise when playing this game, to really have this on the floor and then just, have some kind of standee to represent, or standees probably, to represent the different groups that will be journeying and just move them around. So basically how this map works is you have the different regions that exist in the game. This is Sauron, by the way, so he's already taking possession of his lands. So Middle-earth is doomed, essentially, yeah. The Lady Galadriel is sitting over there, off camera, and investigating what happens under the sofa, because I've moved my furniture around, so now there's, it's all interesting. So essentially how this works is you have the different regions, and on each region you have a symbol. So for example, the Enid Wythe over here, and I hope you can see this because I don't know what the camera actually captures because it's so bright in here. So is this something that you can see? Yes, the Enid Wythe is this region here, and it's got a tree symbol on it. So when you move, and you can only move 4 regions, including the one that you started. So if you say you start in Cardolan over here, and you move to Enid Wythe, and then Old Puckleland, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 regions, Gap of the Eisen. So if you have this path over here, you have 1, 2, 3 wilderness or tree symbols, and one which is I think this is a shadow. I don't know what this symbol actually stands for. It doesn't really matter what it's called, but these symbols are found on hazard cards as well. And if you want to play a hazard on another player, you need to have hazards that have the same symbols as the region that they're walking through. Actually, this one, Old Puckleland, has 3 symbols. And if I, for example, had been, and this one has additional one, or no, this is actually this particular area here. So Puckleland only has this wilderness, and then you have Gean al Lisk and Woe's Passage Hold. So these are the small ones as well. So if I were to move from here to here to here to here, one could play hazards on me that require up to 3 wilderness symbols. So for example, the giants, they require 2 woods symbols. You could play this on me. How this works is, the idea is that different hazards are key to different types of regions, or also to different region names. So, for example, there might be a hazard that is only available if you're in Angmar or Gundabad or Rudaur, and then there might be some that are more like, you know, over here towards Mordor, or you might have some that are Lebanon relevant. And the same also goes for playing certain, and I haven't played the game a lot. I've only played it 4 times. I've lost every single time and lost bloodily, but you know, that's a different story. But also there are things that you can only do in certain regions, like play certain factions. They can only be played in certain areas, and you can then tell from this map where those areas are. And these colored dots, which you probably cannot make out because of the brightness, tell you, if you use the legend down there, what can be played at each site. So you have different types of items that you can play. You have minor items, major items, greater items, you have rings, you have factions, you have allies, and you have information. So these are cards. And for example, in Dunland, you can only play factions. In Hollin, you can play all kinds of great things. You can play minor items and and rings. You can also play minor items, major items, greater items, rings, and allies in Moria. On the Redhorn Gate, which is up here, you can only play information. You can also only play information in the Dimril Dale. So this is probably how this would be keyed. Or maybe you can't even play any information in the Redhorn Gate because that's more of a region rather than something that you can enter. I would have to figure this out, how this works, because on the one hand there are region cards which don't come with the base game, and then you have location cards. So for example, let's see if I find something that... Weathertop, for example, would be a location card. Bree is the Old Forest is, Bag End, the Worthy Hills. I also have a card which is called Shellop's Lair, which should be somewhere over here, which you can't see. There is Kirith Ungol, there is Shellop's Lair, and there's Minas Morgul. And there's 3 separate locations, and you can play different things. In Kirith Ungol, for example, you can play minor items, major items, and greater items. And in Shellop's Lair, you can only play minor and major items. And in Minas Morgul, again, minor, major, and greater items. So this is apparently a fan-made version of a map that was created by the people who created the game itself. You can also tell, you know, something is a haven. Lorien, for example, it has the star symbol. It's a haven, depending on how you play. Usually you can only heal in a haven. I play that you can play in a haven, you can heal outside a haven as well. And if you are in a haven and you want to heal, I actually don't ask you to flip twice, but I just flip the card right side up. And if I heal outside, then it's the normal 3 or the 2 turns that somebody has to take. Or this is how I'm playing it at the moment. Like I say, I play solo, and there are a couple of solo scenarios, and I keep failing the one that I've been playing. I have now added more, so I'll try and play again. Because I usually it's probably because I made a really punishing hazard deck, which I may have to rethink, because it could be that for that scenario that I'm playing, it's the one where after the War of the Ring, Legolas and Gimli take a trip down memory lane. You know, in the book, they talk about how if they survive, then Gimli will accompany Legolas home, and they will go through Fangorn together, because Legolas really would like to walk Fangorn more, because he realizes it's a very old forest and very important, and he would like to experience it more. And also, I think that they make a deal that they will go back to where Legolas is from, and in return, because of course for Gimli this is really difficult because he doesn't really like trees. They're going to visit at least the Hornburg and Helm's Deep more, because that's a really solid mountain structure, or structure that has been built into a mountain. So Gimli feels very much at home there. And Legolas doesn't like it, so they say, okay, well, if we survive, then, you know, I make a pledge to visit your mountain halls with you if you visit my tree, my forest realms with me. And I think that there may even be talk that the two of them will go to Dale, and then, of course, from there travel on to the Lonely Mountain, and visit because that's of course where Durin's heir now lives, and a lot of the dwarves after of course the events in The Hobbit. So anyway, you put together a hazard deck, and it tells you what to put in, but also then it says, you know, the rest of the cards are up to you. And I might have made it too difficult for me, essentially also because I don't really have that many good non-hazard cards that can mitigate this, and they're also very restricted with regard to allies. You can only have allies for 2 turns, and then they will leave again. So it may not be the best one to play for an inexperienced player, but we'll see. Anyway, so I wanted to show you this. I was actually hoping for a map this big, but nonetheless, the quality of the printing is exceptional. It's really good. And also, I wanted to show you this because I ordered this and I paid 60 euros for it, including shipping, which is not very much. And they also gave me this. And they gave me this. So that's really lovely. So for 2 players you have kind of Tolkien-inspired artwork here. This is definitely a Black Rider. This is not probably Minas Tirith, because Minas Tirith looks different, but this could be something, I don't know, Minas Morgul maybe, and here these ravens here, and here you've got I don't know, this looks like Black Riders as well, and here you've got some orcs. So this came for free. I'm really impressed with that. I did not expect that at all. I'm really happy with the purchase. It is not what I had expected it to be. I'd expected it to be a lot smaller. But then again, you know, I may be able to put it on my table. I'll have to check. Width-wise, yes. Length-wise, yes. I'm not sure about the depth, if that actually works, but we'll see. And then I can leave it there and just put everything else on top. I mean, at the moment, my desk upstairs has the plexi on it, and underneath the plexi I've got the I still got the map from Zulus on the Ramparts. No, not Zulus on the Ramparts, Victoria Cross 2. What am I saying? Victoria Cross 2, because I never took it down. So I think this may actually just fit that table, and then I'll just leave it on there, and then just whatever else I want to play I'll just put on top, and then I can put the plexi on this, because of course you don't want this to get dirty. Although I'm told that this kind of map can be washed, I wouldn't really want to try it out. So yeah, I mean that's a huge in the house, but since you are here already, and since this is kind of in keeping with the theme, I'm going to show you 2 more things that also came in. And then I kind of hinted at that I was getting them. So here I've got the starter decks for the limited edition for the Middle-earth MECCG called The Lidless Eye, so that's, as far as I remember, the Fallen Wizards. And here I've got the limited edition expansion packs for the dragons. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to opening this. I mean, some of the imagery that I've seen, some of the dragon cards that I've seen, because I've got them, are just most beautiful. I've also got the lidless, the white hand booster packs. So yeah, I'm gonna start working on those as well. I've already started sleeving them. I also have several Dutch cards which I got free as kind of like a thank you from the guy that I was buying them from. So and some of these I don't have in English, but that's not to worry about. So for example, here I've got the Walden Foothills, which is pretty much language independent because it only contains the name of regions. Shrelkine, I've already got that one. Withered Heath, don't have that one. And I've got Shelob's Lair, which is actually a rare card, but I've got it in Dutch. So what I will do is I will actually just go online and get the English version of this text down here. And since when I use them, I will sleeve them. I've got Eowyn as well. Magic Ring of Nature. So several that I don't have normally, and I will just keep them anyways, and I will just sleeve them and then put the text over it. I don't think I have Misty Mountains. I've got another Nazgul Ahorahil. Wacho I still have. Masters Disperses I still have. Ghosts I have as well. Precious Gold Ring. Testiform. Old Friendship. I don't think I've got Old Friendship actually. Tempering Friendship, I don't have that one. And Sharp Khan again. So I'll have to check if I have these ones. So that was actually quite nice. He sent me 2 booster packs for free essentially when I bought the other stuff. So these ones I shall just sleeve, and then I mean I don't speak any Dutch, but when I look at it, it says here something along the lines of Kort Voorval, so it's a short-term event. And I don't know, it's probably gonna be like sounding terrible to anyone who speaks Dutch, but what it says here is voor karakter in het been vlodende karakters reisgeldskap geeft a friend or 3 +1 op een invloedcheck of op een corruptiecheck ondergaan door iemand in zijn gezelschap. So basically what this means is that for each character in this particular fellowship, if you play this card, they get +1. No, not for each, probably for 1. Yeah, that ends when they do a corruption check. So it gives a bonus on this. So I'll just have to get the English text brought out, and then I'm just gonna put it in the sleeve above it, and that's gonna be fine. Then it's like the errata that I received for the PACG. I did the same thing. So yeah, that's my unboxing. I mean, that was it. Didn't even come in a box. It came in a huge tube-like thing. So I'm going to put the the website of this printers in the description to this video, because if you live in Europe, and I mean €60 was including shipment from Poland to Ireland, which is really, really good. I mean, the price is absolutely stunning, considering the stunning quality that you get. This is really, really, really well done. So yeah, I wish you a pleasant evening, and yeah, we will be in touch. And somebody has requested that I do a playthrough of the Runebound Insel des Schreckens, and I have to go to the vet on Saturday because Ivy needs her shots, her booster vaccinations, but I may be able to put this in It'll probably be quite a long video because I play slowly and I like to experience the game. I've said this before, but you know, I might upload a couple of videos. Yeah, because it's also not a game that I like to abandon, because I will probably have to play it in the guest room, simply for reasons of space, because I've got Kingdom Death Monster set up in my game room, and of course then if it's in the guest room, that's actually Ivy's room, where my mum's not visiting, and you know, so I can't leave it out because she will probably then steal all the monsters and all the cards will be chewed. Okay, so that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed this. It is a great map. I'm really very happy about it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.